Meat bicycle!
Hello everybody! Welcome back to the third and final part of our Borderlands pre-sequel Handsome Jack Doppelganger skill tree analysis. And like I said, we've already done two. This is the third and final part. So in the first one we actually did the hero of this story and had a look down that skill tree. That personally is my favourite of all three skill trees, in fact, and that will be the one that I'll be going for mainly. But we also did the greater good in the second part and had a look down that, and that was a bit more of a downbeat one, focusing on going down, fight for your life, Digijacks actually dying a lot, you get bonuses from that and things like that, so it's a bit more of a support one. But we're going to go ahead and look at the third one in this, and it's actually called Free Enterprise. So as always, we'll just have a look at the actual action skill itself, which is the first one you'll get when you get your first skill point, and it's expendable assets. So action skill, you'll press the action skill button to summon 2 Digijacks to fight and die for you. Digijacks lose health constantly until they die. When a Digijack dies, a new one will be summoned near you. Press and hold the action skill button to end expendable assets early and gain a reduction to your cooldown. So again, like I said in the last one, I'm not going to go too much over that. We did that in the first one. Links will be in the description for the previous two. But we're going to get ahead and go straight to the skills now. So first skill tier, first skill is high frequency trading, which simply just increases your weapon swap speed. Nice and simple on that one, self-explanatory really. Second is incentives. Swapping weapons increases fire rate for a short time. Each stack lasts 10 seconds, and all stacks are lost if you do not swap weapons after 10 seconds. So you've basically got to shoot away, swap your weapon within 10 seconds, carry on shooting, swap, carry on shooting, swap, things like that. The more you do it, the more stacks you get, and if you don't do it, you'll lose stacks. Like I've said in previous analyses on this, I'm not a massive fan of stacking really, so I don't think I'd want to go for that one. But some people do like it, and if you can keep swapping weapons, if you've got 2 really good weapons and you can keep swapping between them, your fire rate will get more and more every time you swap. So shoot a bit, swap, things like that, and your fire rate will be massive in no time really, but you can only get a max of 4 stacks anyway. So you'll only get 8% stacker, fire rate bonus, but it's better than nothing really. Faster fire rates mean more damage applied per second, so it's always a good one to have really if you like that kind of thing. So second tier is compound interest. Shooting an enemy applies compound interest to that enemy, causing it to accrue interest for 5 seconds. Shooting the same enemy with a different gun consumes compound interest and deals explosive damage based on your skill rank, and the amount of interest accrued only works with a bullet and laser guns. So again, another skill that I'm not massively interested in. I prefer to be more tanky, my playstyle. I like more health, more shields, things like that, a bit more power. But you could actually use this skill to your advantage really, and the bonus explosive damage is pretty good really. So next we're going to Marginal Benefit. Throwing a grenade has a chance to reload all equipped weapons. Again, nice and self-explanatory really, but that's 9% reload chance. So you get that stacked up to 5 times, 45% reload chance. Again, if you're a weapon swapper, things like that, and you like going through all your weapons but you don't really like reloading that much, this is quite good really. You can get down to your final gun, fire it, and then throw a grenade, and you'll get a 45% chance if you stack it all in all to actually reload all your weapons, which is pretty handy and saves quite a lot of time really, especially if you get to 4 weapons and you need them all reloading. It takes a lot of time, so this is definitely a handy one for you, those of you that like that kind of thing. So next is Money is Power. Picking up money grants you a Money is Power stack. You gain increased damage with all gun types for every Money is Power stack you currently have. All stacks are lost upon dying or spending money. Max of 999 stacks. This one's quite an interesting one really, especially with the 999 stack maximum. So the more money you pick up, the more stacks you get basically, and you get increased damage. It's not a massive amount of damage, it's 0.25% per stack, but you get 4 stacks, that's 1%. You get, more, and it increases. So this one's quite a tactical one really. If you want to be, you know, quite good in the damage front. You could probably go to I don't know, a boss like that, Iwajira, or you know, the raid boss, things like that. If you're good at killing them before you start playing properly through the story mode or things like that, and if you're going to be on for a long time and you're not going to quit out or anything like that, it's good to go and farm a load of bosses. Just keep picking up money until you get 999 stacks, and then you'll be pretty well in the damage front really, so that's a good one. Okay, next. Sorry there, paused for a drink. Is Company Man. So gain increased accuracy and critical hit damage with all gun types based on the number of pieces of Hyperion gear you have equipped. So obviously Jack is a Hyperion man, and they're trying to get you to stick quite loyal to the Hyperion brand here. So if you get Hyperion products within your inventory, the more you have equipped, the more accuracy and critical hit damage you'll get. So that's a pretty good one really. If you like Hyperion gear, definitely the one for you. Merger is a melee override skill, so press your melee button to fire shock lasers from your wrists. This ability has a cooldown. Not a bad one really, especially if the shock lasers are actually quite powerful. I'm guessing it comes from that little wristwatch style thing he has, and it's nice that they're using that one within the skills. I think it's the Greater Good skill tree. It actually has a skill as well where you can turn that wristwatch into a shotgun. So it's good to have a bit of variety here, and here in the free enterprise skill you can actually fire lasers from your wrists. So yeah, that's a good one. Next is taxation of trade routes. Increases your fire rate with all gun types. The bonus is based on how many bullets are currently in the magazine of all your equipped guns. The emptier your gun's magazines, the greater the bonus. So again, if you're one of these that likes to get your guns down without reloading or out like that, your fire rate will increase the lower it is. Absolute advantage is killing an enemy causes your shots to have a chance to not consume ammo for a short time. Rocket launchers have a reduced chance to not consume ammo. So if you've got a fast firing weapon or things like that, and you hit this actual random chance of having your shots not consume ammo, it says for a short time. So you know, that's other skills that we've seen in the past Borderlands has had a chance to not consume ammo. It doesn't say for a short time, I'm sure. It's just like a random chance, but this actually seems to hint at the fact that it's for a short period of time. So if you've got a real fast firing weapon and it hits the chance to not consume ammo, you could really get quite a few bullets in there for free, so that's pretty handy. And of course rocket launchers have a reduced chance to not consume ammo. That's pretty handy as well, because rocket launcher ammo is obviously the most expensive in the game. If you like to use launchers a lot, every, you know, shell is pretty handy that you can get for free, so that's definitely a handy one. Next is laser surplus. So it's a slam augment. When you slam, you shoot a cone of lasers in front of you. Quite interested to see what this one's all about really, what the cone of lasers will actually be, where they'll come from, how powerful they'll actually be. But it sounds pretty good, and of course in this game, if you're anything like me, I slam all the time, so this one could actually come in pretty handy really. And finally, before we get to the last skill, we've got supply and demand. So grants you and your allies constant health regeneration. So first time we've seen an actual co-op style skill in this skill tree, but it's here. The lower your health, the more powerful the regeneration. That one is pretty handy actually. It's probably one of the best I've seen in this skill tree so far. You know, you don't actually have to do anything to get the health regeneration. Most skills are shooting an enemy causes, you know, health regeneration for a short time, or killing an enemy gives you a proportion of health. This seems to be constant health regeneration, so no matter where you are, if you're fighting or whether you're running areas, things like that, you and your co-op partners will get constant health regeneration, and the lower the health you are, the quicker it comes back. So that's a very handy one really, and if you're like me, I always like my health to be regenerated, so it's always good to spec into a partial regeneration no matter what it is kind of skill. So that's probably one I would definitely go for if I went down this skill tree. And then finally we have got sponsored by, which is your gun games and manufacture bonus based on the last gun you held in your hands. So if you dial, you got recoil reduction by 50%, Hyperion is accuracy for 30%, Jacobs is weapon damage for 30%, Maliwan is 25% damage as elemental, Scav is mag size increase of 35%, TDR is 35% reload speed, and Torg is 25% damage as explosive. Vladoff is fire rate at 35%. So your gun gains a manufacturer bonus based on the last gun you held in your hand. So if the last gun you held is Jacobs, you will get 30% weapon damage. So basically you've got to look at that and think, what do I want more than anything? You know, if you want that likes a bigger mag size, hold the Scav and you'll get the 35% bonus for that. So that's quite an interesting one really, how they've actually brought all different weapon manufacturer bonuses actually into it. And yeah, that's it anyway. That's the free enterprise skill tree, and that concludes our Handsome Jack Doppelganger analysis, where we've looked through the hero of this story on the first part, the greater good on the second part, and this one has been free enterprise. So quite an interesting one really. In conclusion, I definitely like the hero of this story one, especially that last skill tier where your Digijack has a chance, spawns first as a badass, and then has a chance every time one dies to spawn a badass. That sounds pretty good. That's probably the skill I'm going to heavily go down, but not really a big fan of the great good skill tree. But I'll definitely be going for the hero of this story first, and then free enterprise last to see how I can get on there. But most of my skills will be on the hero of this story for sure. So that's it anyway guys, that's my 3-part series on the analysis of the Doppelganger Handsome Jack Playable Character DLC, which will be released on the 11th of November. Have a look through yourselves, watch all of them, see what you think, see if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, and let me know what you're thinking, which one you'd like to go down. And yeah, thanks for watching everyone, I'll see you in the next video.